The letter she never sent. The Facebook message came at 2 a.m. from a woman I hadn't thought about in 25 years. My first love. She had 5 words that would shatter everything. We need to talk. It's urgent. I had no idea that message would lead me to a daughter I never knew existed. My name is James Morrison, and I'm a dentist in Portland, Oregon. I know what you're thinking. Dentist doesn't sound exciting. And you're right. My life isn't exciting. It's comfortable, predictable, safe. And until 8 months ago, I liked it that way. I'm 45 years old. I own Morrison Family Dentistry in the Pearl District, a successful practice I built from nothing over 15 years. Good reputation, loyal patients, steady income. I've been married to Rachel for 20 years. She's an interior designer, talented and practical, the kind of woman who color codes her closet and meal preps on Sundays. We're compatible. We work well together. We have one daughter, Brooke. She's 16, junior at Lincoln High School, brilliant, beautiful, with her mother's organizational skills and my perfectionist tendencies. She wants to be a lawyer, already has her next 5 years planned out in detail. We live in a restored Craftsman in Laurelhurst. Weekends are farmers markets and hiking trails. Summers are road trips down the coast. Our life is pleasant. That's the word Rachel uses. Pleasant. We have a pleasant life, James. Pleasant home, pleasant daughter, pleasant marriage. I never thought about what that word actually meant until everything fell apart. Pleasant. Not passionate, not exciting. Just pleasant. My parents are retired in Arizona now. I see them on holidays. My sister lives in Seattle with her family. We text occasionally. I'm active in my community. I volunteer at the free clinic downtown once a month. I coach Brooke's mock trial team. I go to work, come home, kiss my wife, help with homework, watch TV, and go to sleep. Rinse and repeat. Every night before bed, I brush my teeth for exactly 2 minutes, occupational hazard, and look at myself in the mirror. 45 years old, graying at the temples, a few extra pounds, laugh lines around my eyes. A good man, a decent man, a reliable man. But sometimes, late at night, when Rachel's asleep and the house is quiet, I think about the road not taken, the life I didn't live. I think about Olivia Chen. I met Olivia when I was 19 years old, working a summer job at Powell's Books. It was 1999. Y2K paranoia was everywhere. The internet was dial-up, and I was a sophomore at Portland State pre-dental program, working part-time to pay for textbooks. Olivia walked into the science section on a Tuesday afternoon in June, wearing a vintage Nirvana t-shirt and ripped jeans, her long black hair pulled into a messy bun. She was looking for a book on marine biology. I helped her find it. We started talking about ocean conservation, climate change, the future of the planet. 3 hours later, we were still talking, sitting on the floor between the shelves, and my shift had ended an hour ago. I should probably let you get back to work, she said, checking her watch. I'm actually off. I just didn't want to stop talking to you. She smiled, and it was like the sun coming out. Me neither. We exchanged numbers, actual phone numbers, written on scraps of paper, because cell phones were still expensive, and texting wasn't really a thing yet. I called her that night. We talked until 3 a.m. That summer was magic, pure, simple magic. Olivia was studying marine biology at Portland State too. She wanted to save the oceans, protect endangered species, make a difference. She was passionate, idealistic, full of fire. She was also complicated. Her parents were first-generation Chinese immigrants who'd built a successful restaurant in Chinatown. They had traditional values, high expectations, and very specific plans for Olivia's life. They want me to marry a Chinese boy from a good family, have babies, take over the restaurant, she told me one night as we sat on the Hawthorne Bridge watching the sunset. Marine biology is just a phase to them. They're waiting for me to grow out of it. What do you want? I want to study kelp forests in Monterey Bay. I want to publish research. I want to travel the world documenting climate change effects on marine ecosystems. She turned to me. And I want to be with you. But those two things might not be compatible. Why not? Because my parents will never accept us. You're not Chinese. You're not from their world. They'll see you as a distraction from my real life. What if I'm not a distraction? What if I'm part of your real life? She kissed me then, and for that moment, the future didn't matter. Only the present. We spent every day together that summer. We explored Portland, Japanese Garden, Forest Park, late-night food carts, indie movie theaters. We talked about everything, our dreams, our fears, our childhoods, our hopes for the future. I fell completely, utterly, stupidly in love with her. In August, right before junior year started, Olivia's parents found out about us. I dropped her off at the restaurant one evening. Her father saw us kissing goodbye in my beat-up Honda Civic. The next day, Olivia called me, crying. My parents confronted me. They forbid me from seeing you. They said I'm throwing my life away, bringing shame to the family, disrespecting everything they've built. Olivia, we're adults. They can't forbid you from seeing me. You don't understand. In my culture, family isn't just important, it's everything. Defying my parents means losing my family. So what are you saying? I'm saying, I don't know. I need time to think. But I didn't get time. Olivia's parents acted fast. They pulled her out of Portland State and enrolled her at UC Santa Barbara for the spring semester, transferred her credits, paid her tuition, arranged housing. They told her she was moving to California in January, and that was final. Olivia was devastated, but trapped. If I refuse, they'll disown me, cut me off completely. I can't afford school without their support. Then we'll figure it out. I'll transfer to Santa Barbara too, or we'll do long distance, or... James, my parents will never accept this, and I can't choose between you and my family. I just can't. We tried to make it work that fall. We'd meet secretly, coffee shops across town, walks in Washington Park, late-night phone calls when her parents were asleep. But the pressure was destroying her. She was losing weight, failing classes, crying all the time. In December, right before she was supposed to leave for California, she broke up with me. We met at our spot on the Hawthorne Bridge. She was wearing my jacket. I'd given it to her on our first date, and tears were streaming down her face. I can't do this anymore, James. I love you, but this is killing me. I have to choose my family. Olivia, please. I'm leaving for Santa Barbara in 2 weeks. I think it's better if we make a clean break. No contact. Start fresh. I don't want to start fresh. I want you. I know, I want you too. But sometimes love isn't enough. She took off my jacket, handed it back to me, and walked away. I stood on that bridge until midnight, holding the jacket that still smelled like her perfume, and felt my heart break into pieces. The spring semester after Olivia left was dark. I barely passed my classes. I stopped going out, stopped seeing friends. I worked at the bookstore and went to class, and that was it. My roommate, Dave, finally staged an intervention in March. Dude, you're falling apart. You need to move on. I don't want to move on. Well, you have to, because this version of you, this isn't living, this is just existing. He dragged me to parties, set me up on dates, forced me to be social. It helped. Slowly, gradually, I started functioning again. I threw myself into my studies, aced my pre-dental requirements, got accepted to OHSU Dental School, started planning my future, a future that didn't include Olivia Chen. I tried to find her on social media once, in those early days of Facebook. But her profile was private, and I didn't send a friend request. Clean break, she'd said. I was trying to respect that. I graduated from dental school at 27, started my practice at 28, worked 80-hour weeks building my patient base. I dated occasionally, nothing serious. I told myself I was too busy for a relationship. Then I met Rachel at a dental conference when I was 32. She was there representing an interior design firm that specialized in medical offices, professional, put together, attractive in a conventional way. Nothing like Olivia. We started talking about office design. Then we started talking about Portland, discovered we'd both grown up here, exchanged business cards. She called a week later about redesigning my practice. We met for coffee to discuss options. Coffee turned into dinner. Dinner turned into dating. Rachel was easy. That's not an insult, it's just the truth. Dating her required no drama, no complicated family dynamics, no impossible choices. She was from a normal American family. Her parents were nice people. She had reasonable career goals and life expectations. After 6 months, she said, I think we should talk about where this is going. I appreciated her directness. What do you want it to be? I'm 34. I want marriage and kids, probably in that order. If that's not what you want, I need to know now so I can move on. It was the most unromantic relationship discussion I'd ever had, but it was also refreshingly honest. I want that too, I said. And I did. I wanted stability, partnership, a family. I wanted to stop thinking about Olivia Chen. We got engaged 3 months later, married 6 months after that. Small wedding, nice venue, both families happy. Brooke was born when I was 35. Perfect baby, easy pregnancy, smooth delivery. We bought our house, built our routines, created our pleasant life. And for 20 years, it worked. Rachel and I weren't passionate, but we were compatible. We didn't fight much because we didn't feel intensely about much. We were partners, co-parents, roommates who occasionally had sex. It was fine, good even. I thought about Olivia less and less. She became a memory, a story I'd tell myself sometimes late at night. My first love, the one that got away, the road not taken. Until that Facebook message at 2 a.m. that changed everything. It was a Wednesday night in November. I'd stayed up late finishing patient charts, sitting at my home office desk while Rachel slept upstairs. My phone buzzed with a Facebook notification, a message from someone not on my friends list, Olivia Chen. My heart stopped. I stared at her profile picture. Older now, of course, but still beautiful. Shorter hair, laugh lines around her eyes, but unmistakably her. The message was simple. James, I know this is out of the blue after 25 years. We need to talk. It's urgent. Please call me when you can. My number is 831-555-0147. Olivia. I must have read it 50 times, trying to decode the urgency, the tone, the implications. At 2:15 a.m., I gave up trying to sleep and called the number. She answered on the first ring, like she'd been waiting. James? 25 years, and I recognized her voice immediately. Olivia, wow, it's really you. I'm sorry for reaching out like this. I know it's late. I didn't know how else to contact you. It's okay. I'm awake. What's going on? Your message said it was urgent. She took a shaky breath. Can we meet in person? I'm in Portland. I flew in yesterday specifically to talk to you. You flew here? Olivia, what's happening? I can't explain over the phone. Please, tomorrow. Can you meet me for coffee? Something in her voice, fear, desperation, something, made me say yes. There's a cafe on Burnside, tomorrow at 10. I'll be there. I barely slept that night. Rachel asked why I was tossing and turning. Work stress, I lied. It was the first lie I told her in years. The next morning, I told her I had an early consult and left the house at 9:30. Olivia was already at the cafe when I arrived, sitting at a corner table, nervously shredding a napkin. She looked up when I walked in, and our eyes met across the room. I walked over, sat down across from her, and for a moment, we just stared at each other. You look good, she said finally. Older, but good. You too. Really good, actually. I've been living in Monterey for 20 years. Marine biologist at the aquarium. Got my PhD, published research, did everything I dreamed of doing. That's amazing. I'm happy for you. I never married. Came close once, but... She trailed off. What about you? I looked you up online. Successful dentist, nice family. You built a good life. I did. Rachel's a good woman. My daughter Brooke is incredible. I'm glad. She twisted her coffee cup. James, I need to tell you something. Something I should have told you 25 years ago. The dread I'd been feeling since her message intensified. Okay. When I left for Santa Barbara in January of 2000, I was pregnant. The cafe noise faded to white static. I couldn't hear anything except my own heartbeat. What? I found out in early December, right before I broke up with you. I was 8 weeks along. You were pregnant, with my child, and you didn't tell me? My parents didn't know either. Nobody knew. I was terrified, James. 19 years old, starting at a new school, completely alone. You weren't alone. I was here. I would have. You would have dropped out of school, married me, and thrown your life away. I know. That's why I didn't tell you. I stood up, my chair scraping loudly. Several people looked over. Can we go outside? Olivia asked quietly. Please? We walked to Waterfront Park and sat on a bench overlooking the Willamette River. Tell me everything, I said, my voice hard. From the beginning. Olivia took a deep breath and began. I found out I was pregnant 3 days before I broke up with you. I took the test in a gas station bathroom, and I froze. I was 19, broke, my parents were controlling my life, and I was pregnant with a child from a relationship they'd forbidden. I knew I couldn't tell them. They would have forced me to have an abortion or worse, forced me to marry you to avoid shame, and then blamed you for ruining my life forever. And I couldn't tell you, because you would have wanted to keep the baby, marry me, be a father. You would have sacrificed everything, your education, your future, your dreams. I couldn't let you do that. So I made a plan. I'd go to Santa Barbara, have the baby, and give it up for adoption. There were agencies that handled everything. I'd give birth, sign the papers, and move on with my life like it never happened. But you didn't, I said, already knowing the answer. No. I carried her for 9 months alone. I told people I'd gained weight from stress, wore baggy clothes. No one noticed because no one was paying attention. I gave birth to her in a hospital in Santa Barbara on September 18th, 2000. A daughter, 7 pounds, 4 ounces, perfect. Tears were streaming down Olivia's face now. They put her in my arms, and I looked at her little face. Your face, James. She had your eyes even then, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't give her away. I called the adoption agency and told them I'd changed my mind. I dropped out of UC Santa Barbara. I got a job waitressing, found a cheap studio apartment, and raised her by myself. It was the hardest thing I've ever done. Working full-time, taking online classes when I could afford them, raising a baby alone. I had no family support. I couldn't tell my parents because they'd have known the timing meant she was yours. I had no friends because I'd pushed everyone away. But she was worth it. God, James, she was worth every sleepless night and every unpaid bill. "What's her name?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. Sarah Chen. She's 24 years old now. She's a nurse at UCSF Medical Center. She's smart, kind, funny, beautiful. She's everything. And she doesn't know about me. Olivia shook her head. I told her the truth when she was 10, that her father was someone I'd loved very much when I was young, but we were too young and circumstances separated us, that I'd made the choice to raise her alone. She's asked about you over the years, but I never had the courage to reach out. 24 years, Olivia. 24 years you kept this from me. I know it was wrong, but I convinced myself I was protecting you. You built this incredible life, successful career, beautiful wife, daughter. I told myself that telling you would only destroy what you'd built. So why tell me now? She pulled an envelope from her purse and handed it to me. Because Sarah's been searching for you. She hired a private investigator 6 months ago. She wants to know her father, her medical history, her other half. And she found you, James. She knows your name, where you live, where you work. She came to me last month and said she was going to contact you. I begged her to let me do it first, to give you warning, context, and explanation. She agreed to give me 2 weeks. And also, Olivia's voice cracked, I have heart disease, genetic, degenerative. I'm on the transplant list, but the odds aren't good. I'm dying, James. Maybe not this year or next, but soon. And I can't die knowing Sarah doesn't know her father. I opened the envelope. Inside was a letter, handwritten, yellowed with age. What is this? It's a letter I wrote to you 24 years ago, right after Sarah was born. I wrote you hundreds of letters over the years, telling you everything. Her first steps, first words, first day of school. I never sent them. But this was the first one. The one I wrote in the hospital, holding our newborn daughter, explaining why I'd made the choices I made. I read the letter. It was dated September 19th, 2000. It started with, "My dearest James," and ended with, "I will always love you." In between was everything. The pregnancy, the fear, the decision, the birth. The agony of keeping this secret. The hope that someday, somehow, I'd forgive her. My parents found this letter, Olivia said quietly. I'd planned to mail it to you, but my mother was visiting, helping with the baby, and she found it in my desk. She read it, confronted me, and destroyed it. She made me promise never to contact you, never to disrupt your life, never to tell anyone the truth about Sarah's father. She said if I told you, they'd disown me completely. And as a single mother with a newborn, broke and alone, I couldn't risk that. So I agreed. I kept the secret. But I kept writing letters, hundreds of them, all unsent, all locked in a box in my closet. A record of the life you didn't know you were missing. I sat with that information for 3 days before telling Rachel. I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, couldn't focus on work. My entire understanding of my own life had been rewritten. I had another daughter, a 24-year-old daughter named Sarah, who I'd never met, never known about, never had the chance to love. Rachel knew something was wrong. On Saturday morning, she confronted me over coffee. James, you've been a zombie for 3 days. What's going on? I set down my coffee cup. I need to tell you something, and it's going to change everything. Her face went pale. Are you sick? Is it cancer? No, it's... God, I don't even know how to say this. Just say it. I have a daughter, from before we met. She's 24 years old. I didn't know about her until 3 days ago. Rachel stared at me like I'd grown a second head. What? I told her everything. Olivia showing up, the pregnancy, Sarah, the letters, all of it. When I finished, Rachel was silent for a long, terrible moment. Then she said, voice shaking, let me make sure I understand. Your ex-girlfriend, who you've never mentioned in 20 years of marriage, shows up and tells you that you have a 24-year-old daughter who's been alive your entire adult life. And you're just... What? Accepting this? Rachel, she has proof. Photos, birth certificate, DNA, test results from when Sarah was trying to find me. This isn't a scam. She's real. I don't care if she's real. Rachel stood up, her voice rising. Do you understand what you're telling me? Our entire marriage, you've had a child out there that you didn't know about. How is that my fault? I didn't know. It doesn't matter, don't you see? This changes everything. You're not who I thought you were. I'm exactly who I've always been. No, you're a man with a secret daughter and a tragic ex-girlfriend. You're a completely different person than the man I married. Brooke appeared in the kitchen doorway. What's going on? Why are you yelling? Rachel and I both froze. Sweetie, go back upstairs, Rachel said. No? What's happening? Dad, what did you do? I looked at my 16-year-old daughter, my acknowledged daughter, and felt my world crumbling. I just found out I have another daughter, from before I met your mother. Brooke's eyes went wide. You have another kid? I didn't know. Her mother never told me. How old is she? 24. Brooke did the math. So she's 8 years older than me. Where is she? San Francisco. And what? You're just going to... what? Meet her? Have a relationship with her? I didn't answer because I didn't know. Brooke's face crumpled. Am I not enough? Was I not a good enough daughter that you need to find a new one? Brooke, no, that's not... I don't want to hear it. She ran back upstairs, slamming her bedroom door. Rachel looked at me with cold eyes. Fix this, James. I don't know how, but fix it. Because right now, you're destroying our family for a stranger. She's not a stranger, she's my daughter. Brooke is your daughter. I'm your wife. We're your family, not some 24-year-old you've never met. Why can't they both be my family? Rachel grabbed her purse and keys. I'm going to my sister's. I need to think. Don't call me. She left. Brooke wouldn't come out of her room. I sat in my kitchen, alone, wondering how my pleasant life had imploded in 72 hours. I met Sarah a week later at a cafe in San Francisco. Olivia wasn't there. She thought Sarah and I should meet alone first. I drove down early in the morning, telling Rachel I had a dental conference. Another lie. They were piling up now. Sarah was already sitting at a table when I arrived. I recognized her instantly from the photos Olivia had shown me. She had my dark hair, my brown eyes, my nose, but she had Olivia's delicate features, her graceful hands, her gentle expression. She stood up when she saw me. We stared at each other for a moment. Hi, she said finally. I'm Sarah. James, but you know that. Yeah, she smiled nervously. This is weird, right? Incredibly weird. We sat down. A waitress came over, and we both ordered coffee we didn't drink. So, Sarah said, I've waited 24 years for this moment, and now that it's here, I have no idea what to say. I've known about you for 1 week, and same. She laughed, and it was my laugh. The exact same laugh. My mom told me you didn't know, about me, that she made the choice not to tell you. She did. I'm still processing it, honestly. The anger, the grief for lost time, everything. Are you angry at her? I thought about it. Yes, and no. I understand why she did it, even if I don't agree with it. She was protecting me, in her way. She was protecting herself too, Sarah said quietly. She's my mom, and I love her, but I'm not blind to her flaws. She made a choice that affected 3 people, you, me, and her. And she made it alone without consulting either of us. You're angry at her. I've been angry my whole life. Growing up, I was the kid without a dad, the kid who got picked last for father-daughter dances, the kid who had to explain to everyone why my dad wasn't around. And the whole time, you were out there, living your life, not knowing I existed. Sarah, I'm not blaming you. I know you didn't know, but it still hurt. It still shaped my entire life. We sat in silence for a moment. Tell me about yourself, I said. Your mom told me you're a nurse? Her face lit up. Pediatric oncology at UCSF. I work with kids fighting cancer. It's hard, but it's the most meaningful thing I've ever done. For the next 3 hours, we talked about her childhood, raised by a single mom who worked multiple jobs to put her through school, about her education, full scholarship to UC Berkeley, then nursing school at UCSF, about her life now, a boyfriend named Marcus, an apartment in the Mission, a job she loved. And I told her about my life, about Brooke, about Rachel, about my practice, about the family she'd never been part of. Do they know about me? She asked. Rachel does. Brooke does. They're struggling with it. I don't want to disrupt your life, James. I just wanted to know you, to understand where I came from, to have a medical history and a name and a face to put to this giant question mark that's been hanging over my whole life. You're not a disruption. You're my daughter. Both you and Brooke are my daughters. But Brooke got you her whole life. I got nothing. The pain in her voice broke my heart. That wasn't my choice, Sarah. If I'd known... I know. Mom's told me 100 times. You would have been there. You would have been a great dad, but you weren't there, and I can't change that. So what do we do now? She looked at me with those eyes. My eyes. I don't know. What do you want? I want to know you. I want to be part of your life, if you'll let me. I want to make up for lost time, even though I know that's impossible. And what about your other family, the one you chose? I didn't choose them over you. I didn't know you existed. But now you do, and you have to choose, them or me. Why can't I have both? Because families don't work that way, James, especially families built on secrets and lies. 2 months after I met Sarah, Olivia's heart gave out. She'd been on the transplant list, but a match never came in time. She had a massive cardiac event in her home in Monterey and was rushed to the hospital. Sarah called me at midnight, sobbing. She's not going to make it. The doctors say maybe hours. Can you come? I drove to Monterey in the middle of the night, not telling Rachel where I was going. When I got to the hospital, Sarah was in the waiting room, looking devastated and exhausted. She's been asking for you, Sarah said. She wants to say goodbye. Olivia was in ICU, hooked up to machines, barely conscious. She looked so small in that hospital bed. I took her hand. Her eyes fluttered open. James, she whispered, I'm here. I'm sorry for everything. I thought I was doing the right thing. I know. Sarah, take care of Sarah. She needs you now. I will, I promise. I wrote you something in my apartment. Letters. All the letters I never sent. They're yours now. Read them. Know what you missed. Know how much I loved you both. Olivia. Tell Sarah I'm sorry too, for keeping you from her. She deserved better than a secret. Tears were streaming down my face. You did the best you could. Did I? I don't know anymore. I don't know if any of it was right. She closed her eyes, and her hand went limp in mine. Sarah came in and held her other hand. We sat there together, me, Sarah, and Olivia, for the last time, until the machines went quiet and the doctor called the time. Olivia Chen died at 4:47 a.m. on a cold February morning, taking her secrets and her regrets with her. After Olivia's funeral, a small service in Monterey, Sarah asked me to help her clean out Olivia's apartment. In her bedroom closet, we found them. 3 large boxes filled with letters. Hundreds of letters, all addressed to me, all unsent. I sat on Olivia's bed and read them while Sarah packed her mother's belongings. Letters about Sarah's first steps, her first words, her first day of kindergarten. Letters about birthday parties I'd missed, school plays I'd never seen, graduations I wasn't invited to. Letters about how much Sarah looked like me, acted like me, had my stubbornness and my sense of humor. Letters apologizing, explaining, justifying. Letters filled with love and regret and longing. 24 years of a life I'd never lived, documented in handwritten pages. Sarah found me crying over them. She really loved you, she said quietly. I loved her too. Never stopped, not really. Did your wife know that? I looked up. What? That you never stopped loving my mom. Did Rachel know? I never told her about Olivia, not until you showed up. Why not? Because it was the past. It didn't matter. But it did matter. It shaped who you became, and now it's destroyed your marriage. She wasn't wrong. Rachel had served me with separation papers a week ago. She wanted space, time to think, possibly divorce. Brooke was barely speaking to me. She felt betrayed, replaced, second best to a sister she'd never known about. My life was falling apart, and I had no idea how to fix it. What am I supposed to do, Sarah? How do I fix this? I don't know if you can. My mom made choices that hurt everyone. You, me, your family. And now we all have to live with the consequences. We finished packing in silence. As we were leaving, Sarah handed me the boxes of letters. These are yours. You should have them. What about you? I lived it. I don't need letters to remember. But you missed everything. Maybe these will help you understand what your life could have been. It's been 4 months since Olivia died. Rachel and I are separated. We're working with a mediator on divorce terms. It's amicable, as these things go. She's not angry anymore, just sad. I realized something, she told me last week over coffee. You were never fully mine. Part of you always belonged to her, to Olivia. Even before you knew about Sarah, I felt it, but I ignored it because I wanted our pleasant life. Rachel? It's okay, James. Really. We built a good life together. We raised Brooke. We had 20 years. But we never had what you and Olivia had, that consuming, all-or-nothing love. And that's okay. Some people get that once in their lives. You got it with her. What about you? She smiled. Maybe I'll find it now, or maybe pleasant is enough for me. Either way, we're both free to find out. Brooke is slowly coming around. She agreed to meet Sarah last month. They had coffee, awkward and stiff, but civil. Sarah sent her a text afterward. Your sister is pretty cool. Brooke texted back. So are you. It's not much, but it's a start. Sarah and I talk every week now, sometimes on the phone, sometimes video calls, sometimes we meet halfway in Eugene for coffee. We're building something, not a traditional father-daughter relationship, but something meaningful. Last week, she called me Dad for the first time. Casually, naturally, like it was the most normal thing in the world. "Hey Dad, I got a promotion at the hospital." I had to pull over to the side of the road because I was crying too hard to drive. I keep Olivia's letters in my apartment. Sometimes, late at night, I read them. Each one is a window into the life I didn't live, the daughter I didn't raise, the woman I never stopped loving. There's no happy ending here, no neat resolution. Rachel and I are divorcing. Brooke is still hurt. Sarah and I are strangers trying to become family. But we're trying, and maybe that's enough. Because some secrets, when they finally come to light, don't destroy you. They set you free. Hit subscribe. We post true stories of justice every single day. See you tomorrow.